Now we'll move on to things are going to get a little bit sour here because this is the Mark Bagti Award for worst signing, named after Dundee United. Terrible. Yeah, it was after last season. Yeah, now this is where we celebrate the bottom of the barrel, the toot at the top of the trash pile, and everything in between. And the nominees are Luke Jephcott at St Johnstone, Sam Lammers at Rangers, Pape Guèye at Aberdeen, and Oli Shaw of Motherwell. Tell me more about Luke Jephcott.
So he came with not a bad pedigree. I think he played quite a bit in League One, which for a St Johnstone signing is pretty decent. And over like a kind of youngish age. Yeah. And a young age as well. I think he was like 24. He was somebody that kind of really thought, right, we'll get him in and we'll now build our strike force around him. He looked unfit to begin with and never really got any better. And was just like, there was a few St Johnstone players that as the campaign went on, they didn't look quite as bad as when they first arrived. Not too many of them, but there was a couple. Luke Robinson eventually kind of came on a game as maybe the best example of that. Matt Smith ended up being alright. Maybe one or two others, but Jephcott was somebody that never kind of redeemed himself. And I think he's already away.
He was away in Newport, I think. There was an article in the Courier when he signed, and it said that he at one point had a $5 million price tag on his head, and Eric Nicholson described...
I was going to ask you, who wrote that?
You're saying he never brought any insight, mate? Oh, fucking hell.
Eric Nicholson described his goal-scoring celebration technique. Said it was quite low-key. I guess we'll never know.
It just happened so often. He just throw it down. Walks back to the halfway line.
No, it's like the classic one, like in the 50s. We would just shake hands.
Honestly, man, St Johnstone could start with Idi Amin and Colonel Gaddafi up front the next season. Eric Nicholson will try and find a way to spin that as a good signing for the club. Oh, we've got a new Cole in York. What about Sam Lammers of Rangers? Big slammers, dearie me.
Became like the punchline for everyone's jokes. Obviously something that Ewan Taylor's been dining out on ever since. Someone like, wow, they were Guèye last season.
He called it, I mean, fair play to Ewan, because he watched him after he signed, or when he was rumoured to be signed, he watched his performances in Y-Scout.
Then he blotted his copybook by saying that Adam Ida would be a terrible signing for Celtic. They won the league at the Scottish Cup.
Yeah, Adam Ida turned out to be a decent sign, but he was right about Sam Lammers.
Although in fairness, has Lammers not set some kind of goal scoring record in Holland? So
well, that's all very well what's happening in the Netherlands.
What striker in the world doesn't score loads of goals in the Eredivisie?
It's like dog years, isn't it?
Yeah, like, I mean, Dylan Venny scored a shitload in Holland and he turned up and it's just the way of the world.
But certainly Lammers' 6 months in Scotland was pretty lamentable.
Very funny.
He would pick up the ball miles away from the goal all the time. He could barely ever get turned to do anything, and then when he did hit a shot, he'd fresh aired one properly and he would drag them wide, and he would you had never any faith he was going to.
It looked like in Impractical Jokers, it looked like somebody was feeding him instructions about just being bad.
Like, this time drag it and hit the corner flag.
but he also looked like he didn't want to be on the park. I feel like he was really disliking his time.
So he said when he said afterwards, he said quite recently that the reason why it was so bad in Rangers and why it's been so fruitful for him when he's gone back to the Netherlands is that he's a striker and he was used quite a lot as a number 10. He did also play up front occasionally, and it still doesn't. It doesn't explain.
It's not like you're doing like a huge difference. Like second striker. Oh no!
It doesn't explain how many times the ball fell to you from 6 yards out and you failed to score.
You're claiming that's your bread and butter, but he's went ahead. So I take it Rangers are selling him now.
Yes, there was talk about getting rid of him permanently. I think there's a number of teams in Holland that are looking for him.
So then that $4 million doesn't seem quite so bad. Because that was the other thing. He came in and Rangers spent like 50 million on forwards. And one got injured really early.
One's been injured last season.
One scored loads but nobody thinks he's any good. And then the other ones scored shitloads for their team.
It's the fact their names as well, like Dessers and Lammers, it doesn't like a stag party. Oi, Desser!
It sounds like someone on a James Corden show.
Yes. A player I don't know much about, Pape Guèye.
Yeah, Aberdeen fans don't know that much about him either, but whenever he's played, he's looked absolutely honking, including coming on a game at Tynecastle.
500 grand, is it?
That's what the rumour is. We don't actually know, but yeah, rumoured to be about £500,000. And also was it not written as well that he was, or Hibs didn't want him, he was kind of attributed that Hibs were after him as well. But I think Hibs actually kind of came out and made it be known they were like, no, we're not after this guy. And
we're after the other shite one.
Again, could be Barry Robson's tactics, but he's and I think he was only really used on the wing when originally signed as a forward, but he's cost a lot of money so far, and he really...
Did he not go on loan? He did go on loan. But I don't get done that well there either. I'm sure there was an interview with like a Norwegian journalist when he arrived at Aberdeen, and he said he was pretty good until 2021. They got a really bad injury and has done nothing since. So if they spent £500,000 on him, it feels like an elaborate scam. It honestly looks like a kind of Ali Dia type incident, because he takes 3 touches to control the ball. I mean, he looks like a real Bambi on ice situation.
Yeah, the one time I saw him in the flesh, I was like bloody hell, you really don't look like a footballer.
And then I met a large group of Aberdeen fans outside Montrose Hospitality who said they see him all the time in nightclubs. A lot, and he doesn't drink.
Oh, so he's just in there getting his...
Well, fair play. I mean, we've got fuck all else to do. You're not playing, you might as well. It's Aberdeen.
Yeah, you could invest in oil.
Yeah, I don't know, that's just what they told me. A group of young lads were talking to me and Rob, and that's exactly what they said. They saw a lot of them. A lot.
There you go.
Remember you used to take photographs in nightclubs?
I did.
Upskirting.
Perks of the job.
Oli Shaw.
Oh, wow.
Motherwell.
Should have signed him twice.
But surely he's just done what everybody expected. Like, we can
But that's the point. Like,
why are you signing him?
Why are you signing him? Like, it's one thing to sign a player when you think, right, so somebody was brilliant until 2021, right? Let's spend a bit of money on him. Let's get his confidence back up. Let's get him back to his proper self. It'll be a great signing. Sam Lammers, top goal scorer in the Eredivisie 1 season. Let's bring him in. That makes a lot of sense. Who else is on the playlist? Who am I forgetting?
Luke Jephcott.
Like I say, that's a very forgettable player. Like I said, decent pedigree, done all right in League One in England. That all makes sense. Why would you sign Oli Shaw?
Twice.
Why would you sign him twice?
I had watched Oli Shaw playing for Stennismuir on loan from Hibernian, and he was a player. That's what you want to see when you get young loan players in. You want to see players that come in, develop, and get better. They leave better players than they arrived in. And I thought Oli Shaw really had something about him. He was tall, he was quite quick off the mark, a good finisher. And it's just unfortunate that really since that loan spell, he hasn't really kicked on.
Absolutely bizarre, Oli Shaw's career, because came through it, this period of stay, and then he came through at Hibs and he looked like a fox in the box. Very intelligent striker.
Leanne Dempster rated him highly.
Very highly, yeah, but he looked...
By that point on, he's really started to slide.
You're protesting too much.
to the point where when that was first clipped out, it was actually a Hibs fan that clipped it out and said, sorry, what?
So at that age, you're thinking he's like older than his years, because he's got this sort of knack of getting in the right time. Scored a lot of goals against Celtic for Hibs. Like, he scored about 3 separate goals like that, and it was really coming off the bench, smart goals, clever finishes, picking up space, movement really good. And then as he's got older, it's like he's had the reverse, like getting less experienced as he got and behaving less experienced.
Like Benjamin Button.
Yeah, like the Benjamin Button, but of movement. So it's an absolutely bizarre, because when you watch him now, he's like got none of that, and he also shit when he's back to goal, and like all the things that he thought you would develop, but he's also lost the thing that he had.
But I do think he could sign for a team like Partick Thistle and actually have like a pretty good season. But just I do think that even the bottom end of the Premiership is a move too.
They have a really bad miss against
Hibs right at the end of the top 6. Hibs nearly 93rd minute.
That was it.
But Numpty scores the fucking absolute peach that puts us into the and then right after it, rather than Hibs try to win the game, they actually really wind up losing it. And it is Oli Shaw, the best young striker in Europe, and he somehow manages to put it off the post from like a yard.
So who wins the Mark Bagti award for worst signings? Luke Jephcott, Sam Lammers, Pape Guèye, or Oli Shaw?
I want to go Sam Lammers. He was the funniest.
There's just something hapless about him.
Yeah.
Lammers, not just because of his performances, but because of the money involved as well.
Yeah, 4 million.
Something I don't think all that money made its way to. Who was he? That Dutch team who was playing for? I think somebody's pocketed some money along the journey somewhere. Tony?
Lammers was the funniest out of them all.
So Sam Lammers, you're the worst signing.
Yeah, because we won't do the best signing as an Old Firm player, but you'll happily use the reverse for it to be the worst.
Because if you're comparing Lammers and Guèye 500,000, that's about 4 million for Aberdeen compared to Rangers. However, he wasn't really seen much, so he couldn't. Sam Lammers was playing all the time and impacted his team in negative ways.
Yeah.